I was asked what my favorite verse was in support of veganism, and particularly in talking to a fundamentalist Christian, and I will add, who has a worldly pastor, because the pastor is obviously leading the fundamentalists away from the heavenly will of God. And that's part of the key. Because if we don't live in the heavenly will of God, and the only way to know what his heavenly will is we have to realize it can't have anything to do with all the corruption that's going on this earth. So the only place we can look is when God creates the new heaven and the new earth in Revelation 21:4, he tells us his heavenly will. And basically what it's saying is there will be no more pain or suffering or death. And that's the key, because all of the other ways of living have passed away. All of the feelings of doing what's worldly are gone, because the people who desire to live in his heavenly will are the ones who are going into that new heaven and new earth. It's not the other way around. You can't work your way in or say, well, God will change that someday. I can continue to live in the world until that day. And God, unfortunately, we're told, he will say, I never knew you. And look at what Jesus says. And he says that in a few different ways. So we have to look at that. Now, where does that start from? Why do we have to look there and nowhere else? Well, if we really understood what Deuteronomy 6:5 says, then maybe we would get the idea. We are to love the Lord our God with all our heart, with all our soul, and with all our strength or might. And the key is strength or might, because in the Hebrew, it means everything within us, all our desires, our families, our wishes, whatever it is, everything has to be subordinated to our love of God. And if that is the key, if that's what we're doing, then we have to love what God created. So that's the whole of his creation. So we have to love our fellow human beings, we have to love our fellow animals, and we have to love the environment in which we all live. We can't do any harm. We can't love one and not the other. That's not true love. So if we love the animals, we won't eat them. That's no death. There's not going to be any war or killing, because there's no death. There's no pain. There's no suffering. So that leads us back to the point where there's no way we can kill and eat an animal and live in his heavenly will. So if you put the two of those together, that's being a vegan. Amen?